welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm just going to show you some basic supplies you need to get started with fluid nail art and things that I use. So pretty just a short little clip of things you will need to have to do fluid art. So the very first thing you'll need is some sort of silicone mat. There's these little circle ones. They come in different colors. I've got black and white. I think Lantern and Wren has a pink one too. But you can get them there. You can get them at FabUNails. I don't think I've seen them on Amazon, but they're pretty cheap. They're about, let's say, maybe a 4-inch circle. There's a shiny side. That's the side you don't want to use for your nail art. It would be this more matte kind of finish. To clean these, I just use a lint roller. You can also use Scotch tape and just take off whatever remnants of polish you have on there, and to clean them. Every once in a while they'll get kind of greasy, or there's a lot of dust on them. Then just wash them in warm soapy water and let them air dry. If you wipe them with paper towels and stuff, you'll get a lot of lint build up on them, so you don't want to do that. When I first started with fluid art, I used my mini mat from Uber Chic, but I found that making a lot of the fluid art decals on here was kind of difficult, because you're having to bend and smear, so you already have a drying decal, and then you try to do the next one. I was bumping it with my nails, smearing it, and it was just a lot harder to do it on here. I still use it, especially if I'm doing all 10 nails or need a bunch of decals. I'll still use it. You just have to space them out a little bit farther so you don't mess up the one that's drying. So that one's a good one too, the mini mat from Uber Chic. So for mats, that's what I use. I have a bunch of these little circle ones. I actually need some more because I don't have enough, because I really like those. And then as far as other tools, a little silicone tool like this one, the one I use to help kind of guide your polish along the mat when it's flowing, is this pointy wedged one. You can get a set of these on Amazon for really cheap, but they have different shapes at ends and things like that, but the one I use most is just kind of this pointy wedge, because I think it helps. It's the easiest to use to kind of guide your flowing polish along. So there's that. And then once you have your decals, this little tool, this is a Stalix Pro cuticle pusher. Yeah, I found on Amazon, but it's got just a flat round end on one end and just a straight edge on the other, but it's pretty slim. I like it because it's stainless steel and really easy to clean. So to use this, I usually use this rounded end to kind of lift up the edge of my decal so I can peel it off easier. And then once I have the decal on the nail, to cut around the cuticle, I use the flat edge, and it really does cut a really crisp, clean line, and I really like this. It wasn't that expensive either, so if you look on Amazon for the Stalix Pro, I think it's like E80 or something like that on here. Can't really read that. I can see that. Probably have it upside down. I need glasses. But it's just this tool, which I think is really, really helpful to use for decals. And then next thing would be cleanup brushes. I have the big one from FabUNails. I've had a couple of these. This one is from Lantern and Wren. It's kind of worn off on the handle, but I like that it's really firm and it's wide. I've had to trim some hairs off of it because they get a little funky, but for kind of smoothing down those rough edges and also getting underneath where you've kind of folded your decal over, that really helps with the cleanup. And then I have the Mitty Pro angled little one, and this one is a little easier to get like really close. And I also use a lot of these little sticks you can get off of Amazon as well. These don't seem to take off as much of your actual manicure when you're getting into that area than the brushes do, because sometimes the brushes will get some of your decal off that you don't want removed. So these are helpful too. Also when you do gradients and stuff like that, these are really good for cleanup. I like these. And you can get a pack of like, I don't know, 400 on Amazon for like $6.99. So those are helpful as well. And then of course, the most important thing you need is fluid art polish. I have tried making my own, which wasn't successful. Around here where I live, you can't get the Garnier spray that a lot of people use to make their own. So I've tried several different brands of fluid art polish. And there's a few out there that you can get. There's of course the Sinful Colors Transforming Top Coat. I don't know if you can really find this in stores anywhere, but there's some eBay sellers that sell it, and that's where I got mine, was eBay, and I got the set of all the colors that they had. MDJ, and of course Baroness X and Dance Legend. So these were all the ones that I've tried. Of course, also making my own with some liquid silicone, and it wasn't successful at all, really. It's really hard to get any good sales with a homemade one. So you can try any of these. My personal favorite, of course, is Baroness X, because I think it works really well. Dance Legend is really good. You can get this on a couple stockist sites in the US. These little ones, I think they're 6.5 mils. Around there, yeah. So they're little bottles. These are about $10 from the stockists in the US, so it's kind of pricey. Baroness X usually runs, depending on, you know, the formula and everything, somewhere between $11 to $12.50 a bottle. MDJ, I think those are 10 or 11 a bottle. But yeah, those are the polishes that you can get. I do recommend that you have, just for the basics, a clear black and white. You can add other fluid art polishes along with these, but I think for just starting out basic wise, you definitely should have those three. And then along with the fluid art polishes, what I think has been really helpful for me is having a clear polish. Just it helps to add just a volume. If you have just a few colors that you're working with, you can use less fluid art polish, less polish, or if you want to do more of like a clear design to kind of like an overlay. I've done like this smoky look, or just kind of have holes in it so you can see the under polish. And the one that I found that works the best is actually OPI Top Coat. It's not fast drying. To me, it's just a clear polish, really. I've used it to make decals for reverse stamping. I've used it as kind of a base to put my fluid art on top of, to kind of build up a volume and help things flow. It stays really flexible, so it works well for making the reverse stamping decals as well, because once you peel it off of the mat, it stays flexible, it doesn't become brittle. It's just been a really good thing I found for this to use it for. You can usually find these in like TJ Maxx or the other kind of discount stores, wherever you live. They're all different, but you can usually find it in one of them for like $3.99, so you don't have to pay 10 bucks, I think, what it's at Ulta or Sally's. So you can usually find them pretty cheap. And I usually have a few bottles just on hand because I use it so much for those kinds of things. But yep, stays flexible, isn't fast drying at all. So to me, it's pretty much just a clear polish. And it's the regular OPI. It's not the, whatever they call it, the high shine one. So just keep an eye out for that and give it a try. The other thing that I use to help put the decals onto your nail, especially if they're totally dry, not real flexible anymore, kind of hard to stick to your nail, I've used just foil adhesive on top of the nail or your undie polish to help the decals stick and get them placed on there until you can add top coat. So that's worked really well. It's really sticky. And then I've used Baroness X, the Bind and Burnish. This is actually made to use for burnishing chrome powders or glitter powders, but I've found that it helps to kind of just create that sticky layer so your decals can stick a little bit better. I've also used it to help reverse stamping decals stick as well. So the only thing I recommend with this one though is you have a bottle for white polishes and you have a bottle for darker polishes, because I've used it over white polishes and I'm kind of impatient and waiting for things to dry. So this is what I use for my white polishes. You can see that it's actually kind of taken up some of the white pigment from the white polish. So if you put this over a dark polish, you'll totally see it. So that's all I recommend, is that you use one bottle for your whites, or just be patient and wait for your white polish to dry, and then you wouldn't have that problem. And then one for your dark polishes. So that's really helpful too. If you guys have any questions about anything fluid art related or suggestions on things you want me to show you, I can definitely do that. Leave me comments. I'm going to be posting, hopefully, a lot of videos of some of the things that I've learned since starting, things that are helpful to do, some fun techniques and different colors. That actually will be one of the videos that I'll post, is how to pick the colors that you want to use with a certain fluid art, or you want to create something, and how to pick colors that look good together, that don't get muddled, and those kinds of things. So make sure that you give me a like, subscribe, leave comments, and let me know what you guys want to see. Thanks for tuning in.